Hello chess lovers! Can you find in this position the only move that secures the win for white? Imagine you have played for hours to reach this endgame. It's obvious that white has the advantage if he plays the right move. For white it looks like a straightforward run to the finish line. And here is the problem. The intuitive move, the move that almost every player would play, turns a winning position into a nightmare and leads to a tragic loss. Pause the video for a moment and solve this puzzle. If white plays pawn to c5, the immediate instinct for most is to push the c-pawn and start the race. But that is a losing move. Now we have knight to d3 by black. A very strong response by black. White plays pawn to c6. Then we have black knight captures on f4. c7 by white. And then we have black knight to d5. Now white has to promote to a knight. A queen would be lost to a fork. So we have now the promotion to a knight. And black plays knight to f4. Knight to e7 with check by white. The black king moves to g5. Now we have knight to c6. And finally, black captures the pawn on h3. After that move, black is winning easily. Now let us see how white wins. In this position, the only winning move for white is pawn to d5. Black captures on d5 with his e-pawn. Black is forced to capture the d-pawn. Otherwise, this pawn runs to promotion. But why does white play pawn to d5? Because once black captures this pawn, the key d5 square is blocked for the black knight. Now white can play pawn to c5. Black has two main tries here. One option is that black brings the king into the action with king to f5. Then we have king to f7 by white, black knight to c2, c6 by white, knight to d4 by black. Then the white pawn moves to c7, black moves his knight to b5, and white promotes on c8 with check. The black knight moves to e4, white queen to e8 with check. The black king captures the pawn on f4. And finally the white queen captures the knight on b5. And the rest is routine. Back to the main line. But what if black plays the most testing move, knight to c2? Then the race continues. White pawn to c6. Knight to d4, white pawn to c7, and then we have black knight to f5. Now black's knight is ready to jump to e7 to stop the promotion. White must be precise, so white promotes to a knight. A stunning underpromotion. a6 now by black, a3 by white, a5 by black, a4 by white, d4 by black. Black is running out of squares. He is in Zugzwang. Then white moves his d-pawn to d3. And in this position, it doesn't matter what black plays. Checkmate is unavoidable. So maybe black plays knight to e3. And then the white knight moves to e7 with checkmate. Endgames like this show us that even the simplest looking positions hold deep secrets. If you found that winning move and the underpromotion, you have the vision of a very good chess player. Please give the video a like, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss brilliant endgames like this. See you in the next video.